Hey, are you sick of chunking or hacking shots from the rough? Stick with me because I've got a repeatable process that will save you strokes instead of costing them. And make sure you watch to the end where I'll reveal the one club you'd never think to use from the rough. Hey, Kevin Stull here, Director of Instruction at Old Hawthorne, and let's get started. Let's get out of the rough easily. And what we're going to do is we're going to develop a little bit of structure in our swing right off the beginning, okay? So here's what I mean by that. We're trying to be as stable as we can in an unstable area, okay? Meaning getting control of that club face. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little firmer grip on that club, okay? I'm not talking about like super squeezing it. You're already probably going to be a little more tense because you just hit it in the rough, all right? So try and relax your body a little bit and use that extra little bit of tension for your grip, okay? We're going to try and get control of that club face as much as we possibly can. Now, a second part of that will be to choke down the club a little bit more towards the shaft, okay? Again, trying to get better control over that club face. The longer the club, the less control that we have, all right? We're a little firmer. We're a little choked down. We got good control. What's another step we can add to this? Well, we are trying to get ball first, not grass. Okay, since we're trying to get ball first, we want to get that ball slightly farther back in our stance. Okay, so for instance, if your shot called for your ball position to be dead center of your stance, you would go about a ball backwards for you right-handed players towards your right foot. Okay, again, the point of this is to have a steeper angle of attack, hitting that golf ball first, not the grass, and keeping that club face nice and square to our target line, all right? So we got firmer grip, choke down on it, ball's a little bit farther back in our stance, and we're starting off with some really good control. Let's talk about your club face right off the bat. As I mentioned earlier, the grass grabs your club and twists it. What do I mean by that? Well, with irons in particular, your hosel sits in front of the club face and will hit the grass first. Therefore, it'll twist your club down, and that's where you get those duffs and those balls that just kind of barely come out of the rough and dribble in the fairway. All right, so how do you combat that? Well, you've got to have a little bit of an open face. I don't mean like a wedge open face, high spinny type of shot. I mean just the toe is slightly open at address. All right? I know it's kind of weird to think about, especially for you that slice the ball, but that really does balance out those grass blades, grabbing your club and twisting it down. It really helps it pop up and maintain that loft that you had originally. Okay, so along with that, we've got a slightly open club face. All right? I want you to stand a little bit closer to the ball. Talking about a half step. Okay? So a half step closer to the ball. And then what did we do earlier? We put the ball back in our stance in order to hit down on it better. This does the same thing. Since we're a little closer, we're able to have a steeper takeaway, which is very important. We want a nice steep takeaway so that we can have a steep delivery into the ball. The farther away we are from the ball, the flatter the swing, and the more you're going to hit the top of the ball and dribble it out, okay? So we're feeling nice and structured. We set up to it. We've got a slightly open toe. Excellent. We're slightly closer to it, and we're coming in nice and steep. All those things paired with the first three are going to really pop that ball out of the rough very easily for you. Here's an added bonus. Watch our boy Victor Hovland hold the face open through impact. This is a crucial tool that the PGA Tour players use to get a thick rough like Oakmont. All right, so this last part is sure to shock a lot of you. Let's talk about club selection, all right? So we talked about our irons in the beginning. What did we say? We said that the hosel was in front of the club face, all right? So that's what's going to grab the grass first, twist that club face down, and dribble it in the fairway. So a lot of us then will grab our hybrids from that point, right? Not feeling very good with our irons, let's grab our hybrids. They're typically a little more forgiving than our irons. And yeah, that may be true, but they're still built like an iron, right? So if they're built like an iron, that would mean that the hosel's slightly ahead of the club face like this. It's still going to grab the grass, twist that face down, and we're right back to where we started, okay? So consider this. If you have a 5, 7, or a 9 wood, consider using that for those longer shots. And the reason why I say that, because this club face has got some good bulge here in the front, ahead of the hosel, making it much easier to slide through the rough and get that ball airborne. Okay, now I say all this in making sure that you have a really good assessment of your lie, okay? Not all shots are created equally. I'm not saying hit your 5 or 7 wood every single time you hit in the rough. What I'm saying is that's an option for those longer shots if the lie is looking okay. Now, if you have to lay up, though, what's the layup rule? Well, typically you just divide it in half. So let's say that you've got, 240 yards away. You hit your wedge 120. Hey, there we go. We go wedge, and we get on the green and get out of there. Now, what we just did was we had a mistake because we hit in the rough, but we didn't have 2 in the row. That's the biggest thing. That's the rule right there. You're going to have plenty of mistakes on the golf course. Just don't make 2 in a row, all right? So assess your lie, select the right club, and be more and more consistent every round. So there it is. No more chunking, no more hacking. With this process, you can finally get out of the rough with stress-free confidence. Be sure to like and subscribe to Team KSG for weekly advice, and be sure to visit my other instructional videos for easy tips.